That was a commercial a little while back, and it was advertising wipes and cleanup with Clorox, and it was showing where the young man had on a little yellow raincoat and yellow boots, and his mom took him out, and he took the boots off, and the first mud puddle he got to, he jumped in. And so the gear didn't do him any good. So the commercial went on, and he came back out. He was cleaned up, came back out, went right back to that same mud puddle, and jumped in, and that's the way it went on. But it says it was either Tide or it was a cleaning agent with Clorox in it, that it was given it that if you have Clorox, you don't have to worry about cleaning up messes. And so we know that some things Clorox will not change. It will not. It will not. And if you don't use it right, it will mess your clothes up. And so you have to, it says on the label, I noticed that, I do washing every now and then. And it says that you need to test the garment with a little bit of Clorox just to see how it's going to handle. Amen? Now I'm not a novice on laundering, but every now and then I have to yield to do my own cleaning. Isn't it amazing that even a child would go back to the same mud puddle after they've been cleaned up? Who in their right mind would come home from working at one of these chemical plants with all those chemicals on them, take a shower, and then put those same clothes back on? It makes no sense. Why would a Christian profess to be a Christian, be baptized, go down in the water, come up, say your chain, 3 months later, you're back doing the same thing? Why? Doesn't make any sense. So once you're cleaned up, what you messed up, that's not how it's done. Gotta clean up what I messed up. Start all over again. But Paul's smiling, he knows that song. And so we need to understand that once we're clean, we ought to stay clean. And so you say, where do you get this from? Well, I'm glad you asked me. Come and go with me to the book of Romans, the 6th chapter. And just for a minute, we're going to look at Romans 6, 1 through 12. And maybe, just maybe, something will be said to make a sense out of what we're going to talk about today. Will you pray with me? Now, I'm going to throw you a curve. I always read out of King James. But the other day I discovered another Bible. Wink. I'm going to be coming out of the English Standard Version because after I read it, it makes it so clear. Sometimes the King James won't give us the understanding, but the English Standard is more in the dialect of what we can, or vernacular that we can understand it. Amen? And so I want you to really get a good picture of this. And so, you there? Yeah. Okay, read on this while. Now it'll be a little bit different, but it's the same thing. What shall we say then? Are we to continue in sin that grace may abound? By no means. Now yours might say, nay. How can we who died to sin still live in it? Do you not know that all of us who have been baptized into Christ, Jesus, was baptized into his death? We were buried therefore with him by baptism into death, in order that, just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, we too might walk in newness of life. For if we have been united with him in a death like his, we shall certainly be united with him in resurrection like his. We know that our old self put a pin right there, was crucified with him in order that the body of sin might be brought to nothing.
Right.
So that we would no longer be enslaved to sin.
Right.
For one who has died has been set free from sin. Now, if we have died with Christ, we believe that we will also live with him. We know that Christ, being raised from the dead, will never die again. Death no longer has dominion over him. For the death he died for sin once and for all. But the life he lives to God. So you also must consider yourself dead to sin and alive to God in Christ Jesus. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body to make you obey its passion. I need to talk to you from this thing. Making a change for the better. Making a change for the better. I had an old professor tell me one time, he says that because we do baptism, and we had that with John the Baptist a couple of lessons ago, where John is the forerunner for Christ, and when Christ comes on the scene, he tells Christ, you ought to be baptized in me. And Christ said, oh no, suffer to be so. And I'm paraphrasing. He says, you do it because it is written that you're going to do it. And God's words is always going to come to fruition. And so when he baptized Jesus in the Jordan, it says that it seemed like it was doves lighting and descending, and angels sending on, he says, this is my son, in whom I'm well pleased, this is my beloved. And so we have to understand that Jesus suffered it to be so for the whole world to see. Now we know that there's no saving power in the water, but we identify with Christ through baptism. Just symbolically, when we go down in the water, that says that we are killing off the old man. And when we come up, we're a new man. And so we have to understand that Paul is letting us know, and they say it's Romans has no author, but I believe it's got Paul all over. And so the thing is that I'm going to give it to him this morning like other people have done. And Paul is letting us know, he says, once you're cleaned up, why don't you stay clean? You know, it's like a struggling addict who has gone to rehab so many times, and then they found themselves right back in the same thing that they've been with. And guess what? If you ask every last one of them, probably they'll say, I had a friend. The reason why Christians digress is because they have a friend who don't care about Jesus. Let me see if I can help you. See, when you want to come to church and they want to go somewhere else, or they tell you, say, you go to church too much, you need to let your hair down, you got to, well, I ain't going to get into that thing. He says, let your ball hair down. And y'all missed that. And the thing is that, have some fun. You don't need to go to that church all the time. Come and go with me. And so we have to understand, Paul is saying is that if you say that old man is killed off, then you ought to act like it. If you're that new creature, old things shouldn't worry you. Going to a party and staying out all night and not remembering how you got home ought not to be in your lifestyle. If you were a curser or swearer, you ought to be able to check some of that. Now, let me help you here. Just because it says that you are buried, if you've been a curser, it is in you. Somebody knows how to push that button. And if they push that right button, guess what? You'll say something to anything. Because I'm a firm believer, whatever's in you gonna come out. You can't keep it hid. And Paul says that we ought not let sin reign in our mind. We ought to be fighting sin. There is a classification for folk who are cleaned and saved and then digress to the world. That's carnal living. You're saved, but you're not committed. Because if you were committed, you'd be trying to not do what the others do. It's okay to go to Vegas, but you ain't got to do in Vegas what other folk do. You can see the sights. You can go to Vegas and have fun and do different things, and they say what What happens in Vegas, stay in Vegas, but I want to let you know something. The FBI might not know what you're doing, but God knows what you're doing at all times. So the thing about it, you have to understand that God has got the record session. Why would I be cleaned up, be baptized, and say that I'm a new man, but I'm doing old things? I'm running with the same old problem. I mean, when you become a Christian, sometimes, I'm not saying association needs to be eliminated. No. Because sometimes just by our walk and our talk, if it matches up, we can affect folk. Right. You don't have to drop them all the way, but honey, let me tell you something. Every now and then, when you make that change, there are some folk you don't need to run with. That's some folk you need to unfriend. Yeah, you need to unclick or whatever they call it. You don't need to be tweeting and texting because they don't mean you any good. They're not trying to help you. You have to understand that Paul is saying that says, if we died with it, and we're supposed to pull off that old man, why do we keep going back? We have to understand that Satan is busy. And he reminds you, you're not worthy. Your worth is not what folk tell you. God says you're worth a soul. And no matter who you are, or what you've done in the walks of life, and we all have sinned and come short of God's glory, that God's grace and His mercy is what keeps us going. And so we need to understand being a Christian is a matter of life or death. You're either going to accept God's way to salvation or you're going to reject it. And I would suggest to those who are thinking, you think real hard that you ought to be saved. Now, are there going to be some carnal Christians in heaven? Yes. Because once saved, always saved. But there's the danger. That's what Paul said. He said, you know you're saved. And you go out there and you know you got a God that you can ask for forgiveness. Lord, forgive me. And I need your grace. And God is so ready to forgive us over and over and over again. But the danger is that some of us are so smart that we are smart ourselves that, hey, once I'm saved, I can't go to hell, but you can have some stripes. That's where you need to hang your hat right there. Paul says that because you become a Christian and you say that new man, you ought to walk like it. You ought to talk like it. You ought to sing like it. You don't come to church to be saved. You ought to come because you are saved. Saved. You ought to serve because you are saved. It's not that someone has to beg you to do something. That's that new man. If you're that new man and you used to talk, locker talk. You catch me. Locker room talk. That's what they say. I've never been in a locker room and got that kind of talk. But locker room talk, if that's what you used to do in locker room talk, as a Christian, and as a new Christian and a changed Christian, you ought not be talking locker room talk. Amen. Let me see if I can help you. If you have a wife at home, you ought not be looking at somebody else's wife. I'm trying to help you here. You know, if you already yoked, you ought not be looking at somebody else's. You ought not be telling somebody that it's okay to do something when you know it's against God's law. And so Paul says, for we've been united in death with him, like his death, we shall certainly be resurrected with him if we can stay on the battlefield. If we accept God's plan of salvation at first. Nobody's going to give you anything. Nobody but God. And so here it is. He says, we know that our old self was crucified with him. But now let me show you something. Say it was crucified with him. But every now and then, every morning is a new day. And I've got to kill off that old man. That's why prayer is so important. That's why I prayed to God and said, Lord, you help me glorify you. Because if I try to do it myself, I might fall by the wayside. Help me to stay that new man. For if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. A new thing. I've got a new way of talking. I've got a new way of walking. You need to understand that God is holding us responsible. If you say that you are a teacher and you stand up before the class and the students know more than you, you need to understand that maybe you need to go back to teaching school. I've seen so many folk who will hand out cards that they are Christian, and then you just stand back and watch. Not that we're judging, because no man can judge another man. And we have to be careful with that. It says that whatever you mete out shall be what? Coming back to you. And so we have to understand that once we point the finger, look at the thumb, it's pointing back at us. So we don't have that, but it's appalling to see people hand out a card to say that they are Christian on paper, but to watch their everyday life. It's more to being a Christian and being saved than just on Sunday morning. But where we really need to watch is Monday through Saturday. We know how to fix ourselves up for Sunday. And we know how to put on things and look all sanctimoniously. We know how to say, praise the Lord 15 times. But it don't take all of that. The God I serve, all I got to do is call it one time. So we need to understand that Paul has given us some good information here. You know, it's not what we say, it's what we do. Christians are peculiar people, and so once we're changed, we at least ought to be trying to do it. Reminds me of a story about a farmer, and this guy is passing through this town, and he noticed on the side of this big barn there were bullseye, and right in the middle of the bullseye, it was a dead target. And he stopped and he said, I got to take a picture of this, and I've got to answer from him. He said, man, what did you learn how to shoot? He said, oh, I've been shooting since I was a boy. He said, well, I noticed that on the side of your barn, right in the dead center, there's a shot. He says, how do you do that? He said, oh, it's easy. He said, I shoot first, and then I draw the target around. Every now and then, we as Christians, we move the target to make folks think we're a good shot. So we need to understand that we ought to be trying. We ought to be trying to hit the target. So you need to understand that Paul is saying that if you say you're going to be a child of God, you ought to act like it. There ought to be some resemblance there somewhere. If you say that you're that new man. Yeah. Come on down to the club. I'm a new man, and I want to celebrate. Being a new man, that ain't going to work. The thing about it is that the way we celebrate is we thank God that He chose us and let us be a part of His family. He says this old man ought to be, he says this old man ought not to be enslaved to materialistic things. But we ought not be enslaved to other friends that try to control us. We ought not be enslaved to different things that we take above God. And we need to be careful, because sometimes we can put family before God. But let me help you, because I pass a lot of football fields and a lot of soccer fields on Sunday morning. And they feel, but you can't get them in the church. But later on, here they come. Can you help me with my son and my daughter? No, you need to raise them in the fear and admonition of an almighty God. And guess what? We ought to be first. Those of us who say that we have changed. He says, if you know these things, Paul says, happy are ye if you do them. Theory precedes practice. How can a man ever do anything unless he knows how he ought to be done? This Christian thing is an ever 24/7 revolving thing. Amen. You need to be practicing how to be a Christian. You don't stop it and say, I'm going to pick it up. I saw a sign that says 7 days without Sunday makes 1 week. And so we need to understand that we need to be in God's presence. Now, I'm not saying that you got to be a holy roller. and everything is praise the Lord.
Yeah.
You have to watch folk like that. Because this flesh, this sauce, this flesh is fallible.
Right, right.
And as long as we in this body,
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
we gonna mess up.
Yeah.
We're not perfect,
No.
but we ought to be striving to become mature
That's it.
in the Word of God. If we know better,
Yeah.
we ought to do better. He says, not only do we have to be taught, we have to be trained. Oh, I'm glad I got right there, because
Yeah.
Bible study
Yeah.
is where we need training. We need to understand that we need to come to Bible study. Because I've said so many times in Matthew, if all you know is Jesus wept, you're in trouble. Because there are some religions out there today that are nothing but cults that will suck you in and make you think that they're all about God, but they're not. And so Paul says, he says, we got to be trained. We must learn the theory. We must acquire the practice and knowledge as it means to an end. I'm studying to be a closer advocate and dutiful person for Christ Jesus. I want to know him in the fullness of his ability. I want to learn. And that's where we are. Christian workers must be trained. Here's the problem. Most of us don't want to be trained.
Amen.
It's okay to get books to help you. It's okay to get commentaries to help you, but you ought to get some down-home teaching. You got to have it. Because it tells us, that this roadmap that God has given us tells us how to be a Christian.
Amen.
We need to understand that the 7 conditions under which a Bible study may prosecute with success. He says, first of all, you need to be regenerated.
Amen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen unless you train. And some people say, well, you know, I made a 360. No. That's wrong, because if you make a 360, you're right back where you started. What you need to do is want to make a 180. Regeneration means that you recognize you're going in the wrong way. You turn 180 and head the other way. But some of us want to take a slant, a 45, a 30, a 15. I'm going to cut across the woods, and God going to give me time. But honey, tomorrow is not promised. So if you say you're a Christian, you ought to act like a Christian. You're not going to be a perfect Christian,
Right.
but you at least ought to act like a Christian. And so the thing about it is that, and the acting ought to be that of practice. Amen? I'm almost through with this. But we need to understand that sometimes it is the eyes in which we see things. As a lady called one of her neighbors and told her as she was doing her wash, honey, you ought to be ashamed. Says, your clothing is all yellow. Lady said, well, I thought I did a good job. So I thought I washed them right. Said, well, you need to go take a look. So the lady went outside and looked, and the laundry looked good to her, it looked white. And she called her back. She said, honey, my linen is precious. It's white. And so she said, well, you know what? From here, it looks yellow. She went back and she checked her wash again. So she called her back and said, well, honey, it might be the eyes. It might be the window panes you're looking through that's causing stuff to show up yellow. Every now and then, it's our eyes that we look through that we talk about, that person needs to clean up. We need to clean up. The quickest way and the closest person to get to dirt is ourselves. We don't have to leave home to get dirt and to clean up dirt. We are dirt. And even our best, as I say, is nothing but filthy rags. So we have to understand that nobody is righteous but God. But he says that we need to understand that regeneration is that. Can we all understand the Bible? Is it absolutely necessary? What Daniel said, of course, is true of all scriptures, that the wise shall understand and the wicked shall not.
Amen.
And the beginning of God, or understanding who God is, the beginning of wisdom and understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he shall direct your path. None of us are scholars that know. This young man here to say, he said, Reverend, he says, I noticed you got a whole lot of diplomas hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
I say, but they don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
It's just to let folk know
Yeah.
that I have studied
Right.
to show myself a workman,
Yeah.
not ashamed
Right.
of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Just because you don't have to go to theological school
Amen.
to study God's words
Amen.
and to be a Christian.
Yeah.
If you stay in church
Yeah.
and you watch some of the old saints, you'll know that how to be a Christian. Those like Stephen,
Oh, yeah. Amen.
that when he was being stoned by this very man, holding the coat,
Yeah.
Saul never threw anything,
Yeah.
but he held the coats
Yeah, he did.
for the throwers.
Yeah, he did.
And if we're going to be Christians, we ought not stand by
Amen.
and listen to somebody else run down one of our
Teach
members.
that. Teach that.
But we ought not stand by and let them run down anybody that's a child of the King. That's some things as a new Christian we ought not stand for. We need to understand that God is holding us responsible for representing him. If you're not going to represent him, don't sign up.
Amen.
Because God don't want anybody that's going to take away from that. But here is Saul of Tarsus before he became Paul on fire for the Lord. Here he is with Stephen standing, who is one of the saints. Hasn't done anything just like Jesus, but help the poor and help the sick. And they are standing and stoning him.
All right.
And it says in the text, paraphrasing, and only God stood with me.
Amen.
It says that God stood up and gave Stephen a standing ovation. And honey, let me tell you something. When you stay on the battlefield for the Lord,
Yeah.
when you get to yonder river, God will give you a standing ovation. He'll say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. Now come on up high and I'll make you rule over many. We've got to stay on the battlefield. You just got to sing it until the day you die. If you sign up for this thing, you got to die out of this thing. You can't quit out of it.
Amen.
The man is not worthy of the kingdom of God. And once he has his hand to the plow and turns back, he is not worthy.
Teach that time.
He didn't say he wasn't going. Say he wasn't worthy. But see, that comes back in that once saved, always saved.
Thank you, Lord.
You need to understand that we're not perfect,
All right.
but we ought to be peculiar. We are powerful through Christ Jesus. This is true of all scripture. Suppose a man sitting beside you and yonder mountain's top, and you are describing to him the glories of a sunset. The west is brilliant with prismatic hues of iridescent rainbow beauty. The man is indifferent and unconcerned. You grow indignant until you discover that the man is blind. Let me help you here. Some of us struggle. We're not physically blind, but we're spiritually blind. There's a whole lot of things that we should know and do, but we don't see because we don't want to see.
Amen.
You need to understand that all of the teaching in the Word is not going to help if the person is not willing to learn. And I tell all the kids, the ones who are still in school, oh, that old teacher don't know anything. I'm not going to do that. The teacher is already there. And that teacher will show up when you sit down and prepare your mind to learn. And so here it is. It's nothing new. It's easy being a Christian. No, it's not. Because folk gonna criticize you. They're gonna test you. They're gonna try you. They're gonna ostracize you. If they talk about Jesus, what do you think they're gonna do? So let me close by saying that it says that if any man be in Christ Jesus, He is a new creature. And let me help you. You got the Father,
Right.
the Son,
Right.
and the Holy Ghost.
Right.
They form a triangle, right?
Right.
So that means that if Satan comes in, there's a circle, he's automatically changed. Don't worry about folk messing with you because they can't touch you.
Amen.
God has got something built around you that you don't have to worry about Satan coming back in. Now, Satan will suggest things to you, but you don't have to listen. Don't use that analogy where it says the devil made me do it. No. You need to understand that Paul has given us some good information. He says you ought to be a Christian. You ought not just be drawn to sin.
Right.
It's kind of like on the freeway. You have the uh-oh squad. The uh-oh squad is those folk who should be driving and paying attention. But what they do is when they see a wreck, they park and go, uh-oh. And you can't get by because they uh-oh. And every once in a while, you can't get to church and do God's business because you got an uh-oh squad. Or you got a squad that says, Mr. Check with me first. You got to help me. Don't worry about those folk. Just keep on doing it. I heard somebody say that the good that he was doing, it was misunderstood. He said, but keep on doing it. Because God, to the Charmaine, is the final answer. He's the one that's going to judge. It's going all right. God says that if you're with me, I'm all you need. I'll be your protection. I'll be your provider. And every now and then, I just call it my bridge over troubled water. God is an awesome God to where he will pick you and the problem up. I noticed one time as an analogy God gave me to where we were at the Astrodome, not Astrodome, but we was at the new one that they built, and Daniel was kind of small, and we were trying to get out of a game. And the people were all around, and I was about to lose him, and he was trying to keep up, and he was trying to get him loose and run. And so what I did is I picked him up. And then when I ran interference for him, I didn't have to worry about losing him. I didn't have to worry about him getting out of my way. Honey, what I'm trying to tell you is that when you're on the move for the Lord, every now and then he will pick you and the problem up and get you to where he wants you to be. It's going all right. He will handle both you and the problem. When you start looking at problems, don't worry about it. Brother Bill, look at how big God is. Because every time I turn around, he's blessing me. I don't know why. He keeps on blessing me. Over and over and over again. Isn't God all right? I don't know how folk could make it without him. Brother Morgan, I don't know how they can wake up in the morning and not say thank you, Jesus, for a brand new day. And since he gave us a new day, what we going to do with it? Are we going to work for him? Are we going to praise him? Are we going to be like that 124 elders? You know the analogy behind that is that they are praising God. And they drop their crown. And they bow down to God. And then they get back up. And then they think of something. They go right back down again. And every now and then, honey, on my way in my hooping, I think about the same thing. When I think about all the goodness that God has done for me, where he's brought me from, I just said a prayer, but I start all over again because I haven't said enough to say thank you, Jesus, for all that you've done for me, all that you're doing for me, and all that you got planned for me. I know you. I've got some plans. Yeah, I got some plans for you. I knew you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. I'm trying to cook y'all, but it's getting good. That he says, hey, I know your eye color. I know your blood type. I even know how you're going to smile. I already know how you're going to walk. Stick with me. I am the great I am. I am always be the great I am. I'll be what I always have been. I was before you got here. And I'm going to be the great I am when you leave here. Jesus is the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm like James Leader now. If anyone would ever write my life story, I don't want to be known for it, but just tell them that Jesus is the best thing that happened to me. He's the best thing in the morning. He's the best thing at noon. He's the best thing in the midnight hour. Jesus is the best thing. Can't live without him. He's like MasterCard. Don't leave home. Some preachers say he's better than Campbell's soup. He's good. Yeah. Jesus, the light of the world. My bright and morning star. Weeping may endure for a moment, but as long as I got Jesus, Brother Allen, joy, unspeakable joy, is coming in the moment. Jesus, you are the best thing ever could have happened to me. You are the source of my being. You are the reason that I have joy. Jesus, there is a name I love to hear. I love to call Jesus, for there's power in the name of Jesus. Making the change for the better. Are you making the change for the better? Are you trying to be better than you were yesterday? And that's our aim, is that we ought to be better today than we were yesterday. We ought not make the same mistakes. Are you with me? All right, I'm tired of fooling with you now. I'm happy I'm home. If I could skip, I'll skip all the way home. Because I'm full right now. For I know what Jesus is doing in my life. And if you work for it, don't worry about the pay down here. Because when your foot strikes Zion, you put on your robe. You can sit down and tell the story how you got over. Yeah. You might not know my story. You might not know my history. But God has been good to me. And I know likewise He's been good to you. You're blessed right now. The air you breathe. The activities of your labor. You walked in here in your right mind. Don't tell me it's not good. Most of you, some of you, never been to the hospital except the visit. Him God. Yeah, He's good. The privilege of the church extended to all who are here. When you're coming by letter of restoration of faith, our motto is whosoever will, let them come. And you need to come while the blood is running warm in your veins.